Eagles fans, I'm Abby Atwater, and this is your 360 update. Today in the locker room, we caught up with wide receiver Dorial Green-Beckham, who compared this year's Eagles' second overall draft pick Carson Wentz to last year's Tennessee Titans' second overall draft pick Marcus Mariota.
They have really good touch on the ball, and they both run quarterbacks. They can run the ball if needed. Some young guys come in as being nervous, but as of right now, as of what I see, I don't really think that Carson is nervous. I think he's eager to get out there and make plays.
We caught up with Chris Maragos and John Dorenbos in the locker room before heading to Seattle this afternoon to get their reaction on the contract extension. Thanks, guys. It's the last game of the season here at Lincoln Financial Field, and Mark Sanchez is making his return to Philadelphia for the first time since being an Eagle. Thanks, Dave. We caught up with some Eagles fans to get their take on today's matchup against the Redskins. Here's what they had to say. Signed to the Eagles in the 2016 offseason as a rookie free agent, Paul Turner has been promoted to the active roster. Carson Wentz will get his first start on Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field against the Cleveland Browns. We spoke with Lane earlier this week, who said he's happy to be back and he missed the fans. Head coach Doug Peterson told him to get ready. You've had the helmet cam on. Have you been able to watch any of that footage yet?
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of it. It's pretty cool. Still trying to work through it and get used to kind of the views from that.
How important is Sunday's game to set the tone?
Very, very important. Just to start off in the Division 1-0 will mean a lot to our team.
Coach Peterson spoke with the media for the last time today before Sunday. He said not only is he looking forward to his first game at Lincoln Financial Field as head coach, but also for the excitement in the fans on Sunday. Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz's plan is to keep the defensive line rotating, not only to keep them fresh in-game, but all season long. We caught up with Connor Barwin and Brandon Graham in the locker room today to get their take on the rotation.
We want to be fresh not only throughout the game Sunday, but really we want to be fresh come the end of November, December, January.
Some people don't come out, and I get that. But we don't have that on this team. We got a nice rotation. I think Coach want to take care of us, and I guess it'll show this week.
To hear more from Dorial Green-Beckham and Brandon Graham, keep it right here at PhiladelphiaEagles.com. For your 360 update, I'm Abby Atwater. Throughout life, we face situations that are beyond our control. How we react in those moments defines who we become. A breast cancer diagnosis can dim a person's outlook, but for Eagles fan Ayanna Kalasunis, it gave her the resolve to continue to live, the only way she knew how.
I was out with a bunch of girls watching a Phillies game one night, and one friend in particular that doesn't really like to hang it up with me, so we went for one more drink, and we met two gentlemen, one of which would later become my husband.
Early in their relationship, Ayanna faced some painful news when she learned her mother's breast cancer had returned in a much more aggressive form.
When I first knew that her breast cancer had recurred, I didn't really understand when the doctor was trying to explain that she had breast cancer, but her breast cancer was in her bones.
While managing the challenges of her mother's diagnosis, Ayanna and Mike's relationship continued to grow, and they imagined what their future together might look like.
So once we got into Longwood Gardens, we're walking around, and there was a large tree they called the gardener's tree. So it was like towards the end of the night, and that's why I asked her.
I was so excited to finally plan this, okay, here we go. This is the beginning of the rest of my life.
It was barely a month into her engagement when Ayanna would learn that again, she would have to face challenges for which she could not plan.
So it was December 2012. It was that fun sort of break from taking Christmas off of work, and then you take off between Christmas and New Year. So it was taking a few days off, gonna spend some time with friends. I had found a lump in my breast a few months earlier, and my mom was being treated at the time for a brain metastases. So for obvious reasons, I finally went to the doctor to get a mammogram and an ultrasound, and I was diagnosed stage 4 from the onset at the age of 33 years old.
We don't have a choice, right? We don't have a choice now. So this becomes, this cancer can either write your story or it could be a couple pages in your book.
So August 2014, Labor Day weekend, we got married on a really hot, rainy day in a really beautiful place in Bucks County. I think for people who are going through a breast cancer diagnosis, whether it's them, someone they love, I think the power of positivity and the power of support and love are going to be more important than anything else.
I don't know that we would be where we're at today if it wasn't for that diagnosis, because that kind of pushed us to be the way we are and the way she is.
Cancer does things that I can't control, and there's nothing I can do about it. But that's not the story of my life, and that's not the story of how I'm going to live my life.